Hey guys, I just wanted to make a brief episode today telling you a little bit about future plans for Aussie English and some ideas that I have that I would love to run past you guys and see what you think. So this is definitely one of those episodes where I would really appreciate some feedback. So if you can jump onto the Facebook website and just comment or send me a message and let me know what you think, that'd be absolutely amazing. Anyway, so I've had a few people ask me about writing up the manuscripts or the scripts for each one of the episodes and then putting them online. And this is something that I would really love to be able to do, but it takes a very long time, especially if an episode runs for 10 minutes or more, particularly if it's an interview between two people. So like the one I uploaded today where I spoke to John. If I sit down and want to write that out, it will literally take me 1 or 2 hours because of the amount of time that it requires to stop, verify, check that I've written what I say correctly, what John says correctly, format it. I also really want to take notes. So when I write these manuscripts up for every single episode, I really want to be able to have notes on the side for all of the vocab and words and expressions that I use in these episodes that I can go into a little bit more depth and almost write out a lesson plan for you guys and give, specific examples of how you would use certain phrases that I've used and certain words, what they mean, perhaps where they've come from. So all these sorts of things I would love to do. I'm thinking about potentially setting up on the website a subscription-based setup where for a small amount of money per month you could sign up to get access to all of these manuscripts for every single episode that I publish. So I mean it would be very cheap. I don't want to make a lot of money, but I want to be able to cover the amount of time that it would take for me to write out every single one of these episodes and then turn them into lesson plans. So this is something that I've been thinking about. I definitely would love to turn Aussie English into a small business that could sustain me so I can spend more time and more effort producing better episodes and more products for you guys to be able to use to improve your Aussie English, to improve your English. But in order to do that, I have to be able to support myself. Anyway, that's one idea. If you've got any other ideas as well, please let me know because I would love to, one, be useful to you guys. I want to be able to make these free podcasts and publish them for you to listen to. I want to be able to help you as best I can and be of use. And so if you have any other ways, any other things that I could be doing or creating that would really help you guys, please don't hesitate to let me know. So jump on Facebook, send me a message or comment in any of the videos if you have any ideas or suggestions. If there's certain things that you don't like, don't find useful, or maybe are too difficult, that I've made too hard if I speak too quickly, because these are all things that I can try and improve upon to make these episodes as good as possible for you guys. So definitely let me know. Another plan that I've had that I'm wanting to work on is making a book for absolute beginners of the English language who are learning English, especially Australian English, that is based around a road trip around Australia. So it would go to all of the main cities, to every state, and for probably about 100 chapters or so, each one of those chapters would have a dialogue with related vocabulary and everything about travelling around Australia. So this would really be focused on people wanting to come here, wanting to be on a working visa, find work, to do road trips, to travel around the country and hopefully give them all of the vocabulary and exposure to Australian English spoken by an Australian so that when and if they ever come to Australia, they have a head start, if you will. So they have some sort of experience with how we pronounce things, the vocabulary we use, place names, history, cultural information. I'm thinking so I could put together over a period of time 100 or so lessons with dialogues, with explanations for pronunciation for words, information, cultural and historical descriptions, and all of that stuff into a book that I could potentially sell on the website as well, and have audio for every single one of those lessons from native speakers as well as myself to help you guys. So I'd love to hear what you think about that, whether you think it's a good idea or a bad idea. I've just had that recently come into my mind because I've met a lot of people who first arrived in Australia and didn't speak a word of English, or at least very, very little English, and had a real hard time, a really difficult time at picking up all the vocabulary and expressions we use, as well as the pronunciation and our accents. So I thought, well, what if I can come up with some kind of product that people could read and listen to and just have exposure to all of this sort of stuff before they come to Australia or once they've come here. You know, it's the kind of thing that if I was moving to France, it would be really cool to have that kind of a book where I could take it with me while I was doing a road trip and learn French about the specific places that I'm going as well while I'm traveling. Anyway, so those were two ideas. The first one being putting together a manuscript for every episode and having it on my website, so that if you subscribe to the website for a small fee, a small monthly fee, then you could get access to every single one of my podcast transcripts, and that I would also add in as much other information about the words and expressions that I use in any of these episodes. And I think this will be particularly useful when I interview other people, because they will often use language that I don't expect or that I understand and I don't need explained to me, but perhaps is very slang heavy and uses expressions that you guys don't understand. So it would be really cool for me to break those down, I feel, for you guys. And then the second thing is I'm thinking about putting together that kind of guidebook slash Aussie English resource for sale on the website that people could use in order to learn English, learn Aussie English, and then learn all of the slangs, expressions, and history and culture about Australia, or at least get some sort of exposure to that. Anyway, that's probably enough for now, but I would really love for you guys to let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to send me any kind of criticism, good, bad, as long as it's constructive and I can use it to improve what I'm doing. I would love to hear from you guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a good one.